Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into prompt engineering. But we're not just going to talk theory, we're going to break it down into a real, practical toolkit for software engineers like you. The goal here? By the time we're done, you'll see exactly how to make large language models a killer tool in your everyday coding life. So let's kick things off with this really important idea. You might think this is some high-level machine learning only discipline, but it's not. Prompt engineering is for everybody. It's a skill that any developer can pick up, and it's more about clear communication than it is about complicated algorithms. All right, here's the game plan. First, we'll get on the same page about what prompt engineering actually is. Then, we'll talk about tuning the AI's output. From there, we'll get into the core techniques, both fundamental and advanced, before we jump into the really fun stuff, prompting for code and the best practices that'll make you a pro. So, what is prompt engineering really? Really? When you get right down to it, it's basically the art of having a good conversation with an AI. It's all about how you architect those conversations, how you design your inputs to guide these massive language models to give you back exactly what you need for your apps. Here's a way to think about it. An LLM is, at its core, a prediction engine. All it's doing is predicting the next most likely word or token in a sentence. Your job as the prompt engineer is to give it such a good starting point that the only logical thing for it to predict next is the code, the summary, or the answer you were looking for all along. Okay, so before we even type a single word of a prompt, we've got this whole control panel of settings. Seriously, think of them like compiler flags for the AI. They let you tweak the model's entire personality and how it behaves before you even ask it to do anything. The biggest knob on this control panel is definitely temperature. It controls how random or, well, creative the AI gets. If you turn the temperature way down, the model gets super factual and predictable. This is perfect when you need something like a specific JSON structure. Crank it up, though, and you get more creativity and variety, which is great for things like brainstorming different ways to write a function. And if you want to get even more granular, you've got top K and top P. Top K basically tells the AI, hey, only pick your next word from the top 10 most likely options. Top P is a little more flexible. It creates a pool of choices based on probability. Honestly, there are just two different ways to fine-tune that balance between a straight factual answer and something a bit more inventive. All right, we've got our settings dialed in. Now it's time to actually write the prompt. Let's get into the core techniques, the stuff that's going to be in your toolkit every single day. First up is zero-shot prompting. This is the hello world of the AI world. It's just a straight-up command. No examples, no hand-holding. You just tell the model what you want, like, is this movie review positive or negative? Simple, fast, and you'd be surprised how often it just works. But when zero-shot just isn't getting you there, few-shot prompting is your best friend. This is where you give the model a couple of examples of what you want. You're not just telling it what to do, you're showing it. For a developer, this is huge. It's basically like giving the model a few unit tests to study before it has to write its own implementation. And here's a perfect real-world example for engineers. We're using few-shot prompting to turn a totally normal conversational pizza order into perfectly structured JSON. This is an absolute game changer for building APIs that need to take messy user input and turn it into something your backend can actually work with. Okay, let's level up. We're going to move past just giving the AI instructions. Now we're going to look at techniques that actually teach the AI how to think its way through a complex problem. Take a look at this little brain teaser. This is the kind of thing that LLMs can really stumble on because they try to just leap to the answer without thinking. So if you just throw this problem at a model, what do you think it's going to say? Yeah, it's probably going to say something like 63, which is just wrong. See, it's not actually reasoning. It's just looking at the numbers, finding a pattern at things it recognizes, and then taking a guess. And that guess is usually way off. And now look at the magic of chain of thought prompting. The only thing we added was that simple little phrase, let's think step by step. Just adding that makes the model show its work. It forces it to break the problem down into logical steps. And because of that, it lands on the right answer. It's like telling a junior dev, hey, don't just give me the final number, walk me through your logic. And we can build on that to make it even more powerful. With self-consistency, we just run the same prompt a few times and take the most common answer. It's like asking a committee of AIs. And then there's React, which is super cool. It lets the model use tools. So the AI can reason, realize it needs more info, and then literally decide to make an API call to get that data before giving you a final answer. So, okay, that's all great theory, but how does this stuff actually help you in your day-to-day work? Let's get down to brass tacks and talk about prompting for code. You can use this to generate entire utility scripts from scratch. I mean, instead of spending 20 minutes getting a simple bash script right, you can write one clear, specific prompt and get a working script back in seconds, a lot of the time with comments and error handling already built in. And it's an incredible partner for refactoring and debugging. Got an old script you need to modernize? Just ask it to translate it. Staring at an error message you just can't figure out? Paste it in and ask the AI to debug it. And what's really cool is that it won't just find the bug, like you see here. It'll often suggest ways to make your code better and more robust. Okay, to bring this all home, let's do a quick run-through of the pro-level best practices. Think of this as the playbook that'll really make your prompts shine. These are the non-negotiables. Always use examples when things get tricky. Be super clear about what you want back, especially the format. Keep an eye on your token length to manage your costs and performance. And maybe most importantly, treat your prompts like code. Use variables, keep them in source control, and always be experimenting. This right here is a really important mental shift. You need to tell the model what to do, not what not to do. Giving it positive, specific instructions works way better than giving it a long list of things to avoid. Give the AI a clear target to hit. Don't just tell it where it's not allowed to aim. And finally, maybe the biggest piece of advice for any serious engineer: document everything. I mean it. Track your prompts, track the settings you used, track the output you got. You know the saying, you can't improve what you don't measure? And it's 100% true here. Treat your prompt library with the same discipline you give your code. Document it, and heck, maybe even version control it. So there you have it. We've gone through the control panel, the core techniques, the advanced reasoning patterns, and the direct applications for your code. You've got the entire toolkit. So the only real question left is, what problem are you going to solve with it first?